just to the northwest of the Forbidden City in Beijing, separated by only a single wall, lies the world's oldest and best-preserved imperial gardens, Beihai Park. In reality, Beihai Park came first, then the Forbidden City, or without Beihai Park, there might not have been the Forbidden City. Beihai Park was first established during the Liao dynasty, 938 AD. Since then, it has undergone significant changes and renovations. Throughout Liao, Jin, Yuan, Ming, Qing 5 dynasties, with each imperial dynasty making its mark on the gardens. Now Beihai Park is a grand imperial garden that brings together palaces, residences, temples, and landscaped scenery. With a history of nearly 1,100 years, Beihai Park can be said to represent half of China's history. One park, half of Chinese history. Beihai Park is built around a large lake and the White Pagoda on island in the lake. The park has a strong religious presence. There are many temples and shrines along the northern and eastern shores, such as the Western Heaven Temple, the Hall of Great Compassion and True Suchness, the Nine-Dragon Screen, and the Altar of Goddess of Silk. There are also some special royal gardens, such as the Calm Heart Studio, the Enjoying Snow Yard, the Painted Boat Hall, the Haopujian. In this video, we will take you to appreciate these scenic spots and its histories with unique perspective. In the northern part of Beihai Park, there is a hidden gem, a delicate garden within a garden, known as Calm Heart Studio. The layout of Calm Heart Studio is compact, yet remarkably refined, a perfect example of a garden within a garden. The entire space is enclosed by walls, forming a quiet, inward-looking courtyard. Within this limited space, architecture, water, and pathways are carefully arranged to create depth and rhythm. The main gate of Calm Heart Studio is topped with a wampum gable roof. Under the eaves, it is adorned with Sioux-style decorative paintings in the wrapped cloth motif, a classic feature of traditional Chinese architectural ornamentation. As you step through the southern gate, a square pool comes into view, still quiet, like a mirror holding the sky. Across the water stands the heart of the garden, Jingqingjai. The hall stretches in 5 bays, balanced and composed. A shaded corridor extends along the front, while a more intimate pavilion rests behind. On either side, covered walkways connect and unfold, guiding your path in soft, winding lines. Behind the hall, the view settles on rock and water, a quiet meeting of solidity and reflection. At the center of the pool, a narrow covered passage, Qingquan corridor, cuts gently across the surface, dividing the garden into smaller, hidden worlds. And as you move through them, the space doesn't reveal itself all at once, but slowly, like a story waiting to be discovered. Following the Qingquan corridor to the east, a delicate white marble bridge appears, light, elegant, almost floating above the water. Along its narrow span, small carved creatures bear stones upon their backs, as if quietly holding up the weight of a miniature world. Crossing the bridge, you arrive at Baosu Shu, a modest study hall of 3 bays. A covered corridor wraps gently around it, enclosing the space in a sense of calm. From the front corridor, a passage leads southeast toward Yinqingjai, a hall of listening to the zither. Here, the sound of the zither refers to the sound of dripping water. Here, everything feels softer, more private, more reflective, as if the garden is quietly inviting you to slow down and stay a little longer. At the north of the small J Belt Bridge, a stone path runs along the water and leads east. There, on top of a rock mound, stands Yanhuaxian, a small 3-bay pavilion and the best place in Jingxinjai to enjoy the whole garden's view. To the west of Yanhuaxian, a climbing corridor was built along a gentle slope. It follows the natural rise and fall of the land and winds its way upward, eventually reaching the top of the rock hill. Walking along the corridor, one side opens out to the scenery of the garden. On the other side, The traditional lattice windows form the boundary with the outer edge of the garden. In the center of the garden, there is Qingquan Corridor. A specially designed dam is located under the corridor, with a flowing water cascades down to form a waterfall with a clear, crisp sound, making it a famous spot for listening to the spring through stacked stones. It is a concentrated embodiment of the spiritual and elegant style of the Calm Heart Studio. The Pillow Pavilion, perched atop a rockery in the northwest corner of the studio, nestled on Rock Hill and beside the water, is the crowning jewel of the entire garden. Not only emperors could watch the Dance of the Flying Swan performance, but it also offers panoramic views of Beihai Park's varied scenery. Passed through the six-arch water corridor, we come to the Wafengshi. Surrounded by Taihe rocks, a quiet pond, and lush green trees, this hidden spot feels like a world away from the noise of everyday life. Take a deep breath, slow down, and enjoy the harmony of water, stone, and greenery. After leaving the Calm Heart Studio, walk west along the north bank of the lake, and you will arrive at the famous Western Heavenly Temple. The Western Heavenly Temple is the largest and best-preserved Ming Dynasty royal temple. Temple buildings are typically arranged along a central axis, surrounded by courtyards and ancient trees, creating a calm and sacred atmosphere. First, we arrive at the main gate of the temple. The main gate of a Lama temple is generally called the Mountain Gate. The Mountain Gate adopts the form of three arched gates. Above, which is a colorful glazed tile imitation wood structure building with a hip roof. It demonstrates a high level of Tibetan Buddhist architectural art. Traditional Chinese temples follow a strict north-south axial symmetry principle, reflecting the concepts of hierarchical order and harmony between humanity and nature. A typical layout sequence is Mountain Gate, Hall of Heavenly Kings, Great Buddha Hall, Dharma Hall, and Sutra Repository, usually flanked by bell towers, drum towers, side halls, and monks' quarters. The overall style is a traditional Chinese courtyard complex with corridors, integrating worship, spiritual practice, and residence. Passing through the Mountain Gate, we first arrive at the Hall of Heavenly Kings. The Hall of Heavenly Kings enshrines Maitreya Buddha and the four Heavenly Kings. Maitreya Buddha is also the future Buddha, regarded as the successor of Shakyamuni Buddha, representing future hope, compassion, and joy. The Eastern Heavenly King, whose name in Sanskrit means protector of the land, holds a pipa, a Chinese lute, symbolizing the use of music to educate all beings and thus safeguard the harmony of the land. The Southern Heavenly King, whose name in Sanskrit means guardian of the Dharma, holds a sword, symbolizing the use of the sword of wisdom to cut through afflictions and protect the Dharma. The Northern Heavenly King, whose name means learned, holds a treasure umbrella and wears armor, symbolizing the subjugation of demons and the protection of all living beings. The Western Heavenly King, whose name in Sanskrit means to observe the world with pure heavenly eyes, is depicted with a red dragon wrapped around his hand, symbolizing his wisdom in observing and protecting the world. To the east of the Hall of Heavenly Kings is the Bell Tower, a magnificent two-story pavilion-style building. A Buddhist bell hangs above it, striking to announce the time in the morning. The stone sutra pillar to the north of the bell tower is inscribed with the Diamond Sutra. To the west is the Drum Tower, where the bell tolls to signal the time at dusk. To the north of the Drum Tower is a stone sutra pillar inscribed with the Medicine Buddha Sutra. We come to the temple's main hall, the Hall of Great Benevolence and True Suchness. The main hall was made entirely of Phoebe zhennan wood, is the largest and most complete existing Ming Dynasty Phoebe zhennan wood hall in China. It has a history of over 500 years and built during the Wanli period of the Ming Dynasty. The architecture is of extremely high rank, featuring a double-eaved hip roof covered with black glazed tiles with yellow trim. The entire hall is supported by over 20 massive Phoebe zhennan wood pillars, each over 10 meters high, with beams, rafters, and other components all made of enormous Phoebe zhennan wood. Entirely unpainted, showcasing the original brownish-red color and grain of the Phoebe zhennan wood. Hence it's also named Phoebe zhennan wood hall. In Chinese architecture, Phoebe zhennan wood has always been regarded as the most ideal, precious, and high-grade building material. This is because Phoebe zhennan wood is resistant to decay and insects, keeps warm in winter and cool in summer, is not easily deformed, and has a fine, beautiful, and exquisite grain. Therefore, it is used in palaces, gardens, temples, and mausoleums. In Buddhism, golden light represents religious solemnity, so many important religious buildings also use Phoebe zhennan wood. The central hall houses a bronze statue of the three Buddhas of the three worlds, Amitabha Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, Medicine Buddha, each 15 feet tall. The ceiling decorations inside the hall feature dragon patterns painted using the technique of applying gold leaf. At the rear of the hall, there are two Ming Dynasty 7-story octagonal bronze pagodas, each inlaid with 712 bronze Amitabha Buddha statues. The Great Compassion and True Suchness Hall is the largest existing Ming Dynasty hall made of Phoebe zhennan wood in China. Its architectural value is extremely high. Nine-dragon screen erected 1756, Qianlong 21st year of the Qing dynasty. It is about 25.52 meter long, 5.96 meters high, and 1.60 meters thick. The screen was once the screen wall of the De Yuan Jing Jibao Hall, Hall of Perfection and Wisdom. It is erected on a greenish-white marble base, the Chinese hipped roof screen. Composed of bricks with 424 7-color glazed tile, embossing its main body. There are huge coiling dragons on each side of the screen and big or small dragons in different postures, decorating the two ends and the eaves, making a surprising total of 635 dragons. This screen is the only screen having 9 huge dragons on both sides, among the most famous 3 9-dragon screens in China. It is really the essence of Chinese, colorful glazed architectural art. Leaving the 9-dragon wall, head south through a stone forest, and you will arrive at the Enjoying Snow Yard. Enjoying Snow Yard is an elegant and tranquil 3-courtyard complex with a serene and secluded environment. Consisting of Hall of Clear View, Studio of Bathing Orchids, and Enjoying Snow Yard. This yard has been a royal Buddhist resting place since the Ming Dynasty. It has gathered famous calligraphers from the Jin, Tang, and Songyuan dynasties, with 1,700 years of history in stone carvings. During the Qianlong period of the Qing dynasty, it became famous for the 3 wonders: the calligraphy collection, the Phoebe zhennan wood hall, and Taihu stones. Hall of Clear View and Studio of Bathing Orchids have been royal resting places for Buddhist worship since the Ming Dynasty. During the Qianlong period of the Qing Dynasty, there were the places where the emperor and empress changed clothes and rested before and after going to Chanfu Temple to burn incense and worship Buddha. The buildings are laid out in a terrace style, lower in the south and higher in the north, and connected by long corridors to form a unique courtyard structure. The courtyard environment is elegant, and the architectural details are exquisite, including covered walkways and double-eaved hanging flower gates, reflecting the architectural art of high-level gardens in the Qing dynasty. Entering the yard of studio of bathing orchids, on the walls of the verandas on both sides, you will see artistic inscriptions of the ancient Chinese characters for shou, longevity, and fu, fortune. The Chinese character for longevity is an acrostic containing the Chinese characters 9, 9, 1, and 20, which together add up to 120. In ancient times, when the emperor celebrated his 60th birthday, ministers would wish him to live to be 120 years old, which is two 60-year cycles, two jiazi cycles, hence the name jiazi zhongshou. This demonstrates the extremely high level of calligraphy art in ancient times. On the other side of the corridor, there are the famous paintings containing hidden poems. Master Guan of Han in the Wind and Bamboo, and Master Guan of Han in the Rain and Bamboo. During the Three Kingdoms period, about 1,700 years ago, the famous General Guan Yu, after being captured by the enemy Cao Cao, made two bamboo paintings for his brother Liu Bei, which contained two poems expressing his unwavering loyalty to his brother. It demonstrates an extremely high level of artistic skill in painting. Entering the third courtyard, enjoying snow yard. Taihu stones is towering before your eyes and seem to reach for the clouds, with the inscription Yin Shi, meaning clouds rise, by Emperor Qianlong. Echoing stones, Yin Luo, meaning cloud falling, in the Forbidden City. These Taihu stones are said to have originated from a collection of famous stones owned by a Song dynasty emperor 900 years ago. In 1779, the Qianlong emperor was overjoyed to have collected 48 stone carvings of the Kuai Shui Tang calligraphy collection. He then ordered people to bring in rare Phoebe zhennan wood to build the enjoying snow yard, and hung the plaque with the imperial calligraphy Kuai Shui Tang under the eaves. Emperor Qianlong kept here famous calligraphic works such as Wang Shiji's Timely Clearing After Snowfall from 1,700 years ago. Timely Clearing After Snowfall is known as the first calligraphic work in the world, and it was engraved in stone as the Kuai Shui Tang calligraphy collection. The walls of the corridors on both sides of enjoying snow yard are inlaid with 48 stone carvings of the Kuai Shui Tang calligraphy collection. They contain more than 80 pieces of calligraphy by 21 calligraphers from the Jin to Yuan dynasties. These are all classic works by great calligraphers throughout history. Enjoying Snow Yard is a perfect example of the integration of Chinese calligraphy, stone carving, and ancient architecture. In front of the Enjoying Snow Yard stands a precious artifact from the Yuan dynasty, the iron screen wall dating back 700 years. Carved from a single piece of neutral volcanic conglomerate, it is brownish red in color, 3.56 meters long and 1.89 meters high. Both sides of the screen wall are engraved with exquisite cloud patterns and mythical beasts. Its style is simple and ancient, exhibiting strong Yuan dynasty artistic characteristics. It is one of the 5 major Yuan dynasty metal relics in Beijing and the only surviving example, possessing significant cultural value. Walking east along the north shore of Beihai Park's lake, we arrived at the east side of the lake. In the northeast corner of Beihai Park, there is a temple dedicated to the silkworm goddess. The altar of the silkworm goddess was built in the 7th year of the Qianlong Emperor's reign, 1742 AD. The altar is one of the famous 9 altars of Beijing. This is where empresses and imperial consorts worshipped the goddess of silk. It is not open to the public, so we were unable to enter the temple. Passing through a path lined with ancient pines and stones, nestled in the embrace of a small hill, we arrived at Haopujian. The main gate is a stone archway, a two-pillar, one-story structure carved from bluish-white stone. The roof is a hipped roof covered with gray tile. The stone carving is exquisite, with meticulous attention to detail, showcasing the superb skills and profound understanding of architectural art of ancient craftsmen. Passing the archway, there is a pool, upon which spans a winding stone bridge with carved railings. Built in 1757 during the reign of Emperor Qianlong, the name Haopujian, Hao is Hao River, and Pu is Pu River, referring to the joy of mountains and rivers. Chongjiao Room, which is from Songs of Chu, means a noble character. During the winter snow, Emperor Qianlong would occasionally come here to rest. Although the garden in Haopu is not large from north to south, stone archways, winding bridges, ponds, rocks, climbing corridors, Chongjiao Room and Yunxiu Room rise gradually, creating a quiet and unique atmosphere. The architectural complex blends the techniques of southern gardens with the characteristics of northern architecture. That's all for today's video. Thanks for your watching. We'll continue to bring you more unique perspectives on famous historic landmarks around the world.